Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Centre Circle podcast, episode 49. You've got myself, John.
And like Keith in the building.
Terrell will be joining us at some point later. We've got a few bits to get through today. We're going to be talking about City, as they keep rolling through. I think it's 5 wins and a bounce now in the Prem and 10 in all competitions. We've got the Arsenal victory over West Ham today, which we'll have some fun talking about. Spurs Brighton, which was another big game, and Newcastle keeping Forest at bay, amongst other things. So let's start with Manchester City versus Everton. This match ended 2-0 to City. Did you see much of this game?
Yeah, I saw most of it. I didn't expect Everton to lay much of a glove on Man City beforehand, to be honest. But they held out pretty well. They weren't creating much, but they were just like frustrating Manchester City.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Calvert-Lewin had a couple opportunities, especially in the first half.
I don't know what half it was. You said that Chippy tried that.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, I think he's still kind of living off, 3 seasons ago when he had that little... You can call it a purple patch now, innit? Because he never really replicated. Granted, he's had the injuries and whatnot. But, like I've said, Man City don't look as dangerous as what they can be. Obviously, De Bruyne didn't start this game, which I was slightly annoyed about because he was my captain in fantasy. But it is what it is. But yeah, Nunez, man. Like I know I had some vim for Vardiol the other day in terms of I don't think his transfer has really been justified in terms of the price tag. But yeah, Nunez is another one where
really
he's not really set the world alight. Like, and I know it's hard. Like going into Manchester City's midfield is very hard to set the world alight and
Where did they buy from?
Be a standout. Wolves, isn't it?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but if you're a baller, you're a baller, innit? Like, we signed Jota from Wolves and he came in.
No disrespect.
Like, slapping.
Coming into the Liverpool team is not the same as coming into the City team.
The gap's not that big.
Come on.
The gap's not that big.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, he looked a bit off. And like, I saw, those graphics with the stats. And there was a lot of zeros next to his name in terms of like completed passes and duels won and things like that. But yeah, fair play to Everton first half. They done really well. And the goal that Haaland scored, I think like 70th minute, that was their first shot on target, which is unheard of pretty much. So yeah, but Man City, like they just find a way.
Yeah, and even the lineup. Again, I didn't expect Alvarez to play, but he played Alvarez and Haaland. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne started on the bench. Just shows the depth, really. It just shows the depth of what they've got. We've talked about this a lot. And everyone likes it out. Haaland comes up with 2 goals. And the machine keeps rolling. I still don't understand this not as dangerous as before. Because the way I look at it is, even with people like you say, but not performing well, like Nunez, starting games, Grealish is on the bench, De Bruyne is on the bench. They are still getting through games, keeping clean sheets, and dispatching teams. To me, in almost like an inverse way, that makes this to me that they're even more dangerous because the drop off from the regulars, I think, gets smaller every season. It just, 10 in a row, 5 wins, 10 in a row, with a, I don't want to say a transitional squad, but it's ominous, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like you say about the clean sheet, they haven't actually kept that many clean sheets this season. I think that might have been their first one since like December or something like that. Granted, they haven't played many games, but I think even if you go back to the Brentford game, the equaliser wasn't through them carving Brentford open. Like, I know they had a lot of the ball and had a lot of chances, but it was Pinnock making a mistake that shouldn't have been made. Like, they're just about to go into half time. The ball played into the box. He tried to head it out when the keeper should have just been like, leave it, and he goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, but they still have someone with the quality to finish off that chance.
That is true, but I'm saying like the first instance wasn't them kind of. It could have been avoided, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
and I think even going back to Saturday's game, maybe if they're playing against a team who have got a little bit more quality, so they're playing like an Arsenal or a Liverpool, they might have been punished if they don't have a shot until on target until the 70th minute. And I think
we say this a lot, yeah.
I know,
but going back through their results, you know, Newcastle is a better team than Everton. They beat Newcastle 3-2. They got there in the end. And you're right, they haven't played that many games, to be fair, since Christmas. Since the Club World Cup final, they've played Everton. They beat Everton 3-1 on the 27th of December. Then you got Sheffield United, Newcastle, Spurs, they beat 1-0, Burnley, Brentford, Everton. So yeah, there's an argument that actually they've not played anyone top half.
Yeah, the
apart
quality
from Spurs and Newcastle. But again, Spurs and Newcastle. These are.
Yeah, one with the FA Cup in it. Like, let's not.
Oh yeah, FA. Okay,
yeah, let's not worry about that.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, like I know it's easy to say, they don't look as good. Rare. I think the game against Liverpool will be very telling, especially if Liverpool can get. So I think Liverpool got three league games before they play Man City.
Yeah.
If Liverpool can get at least 7 points out of those games, ideally we want 9, but I think Brentford away is going to be quite tough. If they go into that game with that 2-point cushion, I think it'll be very interesting how City play, etc.
Are you sure it's that soon? Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we got
10th of March.
Yeah, so we got Brentford, Luton, Nottingham Forest, then Man City.
So they've got a Man United. They got a Manchester derby the week before, and I know it's not what it used to be, but
yeah,
you know, I mean they got a game in hand, 2 points behind Liverpool. I don't know who their game in hand is.
It's Brentford. Yeah, it's Brentford because they were meant to play during the World Club Cup, I think it was.
Yes.
So they're playing Brentford again soon.
Tuesday the 20th. So
a week Tuesday.
A week Tuesday. They win that game, then everything else equal, they're top of the league.
Yeah.
So then you really got to take points off them.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like
obviously there's other teams that could, but you got to do your job. So you take points off them, or you win. You're back on top through your own merit. You're not relying on anyone else.
Yeah, we hope.
Interesting. And then the week after City, 2 games after playing you, they've got Arsenal at home.
Yeah.
So for them, it goes Man United, Champions League game, Liverpool, Brighton, Arsenal.
Yeah. And on paper,
Villa.
That's a difficult...
Yeah, it's not an easy stretch.
Yeah,
not an easy stretch. And Liverpool game's at Anfield, so that's away. Brighton game is away. They're playing Arsenal at home and Villa at home.
Yeah, but I think depending on how Arsenal are going into that game, I think it's a very different game than last season.
Yeah.
Like despite how well Arsenal played last season, I wasn't confident you going to City and getting a result. Where I'd be more confident you going to City and getting a result.
Yeah, but they want revenge after we beat them in October.
Yeah,
so they want revenge. So,
yeah, it's interesting, man, and like it's just like Jack Grealish. It's just weird how he's just kind of been. I wouldn't say he's been phased out, but I don't even know last time he started like an important game. Like I wouldn't really call the World Club Cup that important. Like they were always going to win that.
Well, Pep does this. Like I think the conversation is happening because it's him and he's English and all that. Pep does this. You know, we had seasons where Raheem wouldn't play or Silva wouldn't play or Foden wouldn't play. Do you know what I mean? And then next season, the guy plays, the player plays every week or becomes important all of a sudden. It's just life under Pep. You can't, like, it's not a normal club. If you had played as much as Jack played last year in the treble-winning season, in any other club, he starts every game.
Yeah, that is true.
Right? But Pep doesn't see it like that.
Yeah.
Pep like, all right, cool. I've got Doku now. I've got other things now. There might be other situations or other dynamics in the team that he needs someone to contribute to slightly differently, etc. And that's just kind of where it is. And you know my view on Xhaka as well. I still don't really get it at the elite level. Like, at a team that's going to win the Prem and Champions League every season, I personally don't see what everyone sees about him being a starter every week.
I mean, because he's not exciting in a City team. I think when he's at Villa and he could play in that whole float around, he was the guy.
But remember, we had the conversation with Villa and I still wasn't having it.
Yeah.
I will take Madison over him.
But you can see more of like, there's a little, you know, sometimes when you're at a game and there's that one player who picks up the ball who could do something a bit exciting and you're like, oh yeah, he might do something. Where at City, you're just another one of the man them, innit? Like, you don't stand out. Like, you have the odd good game here and there, but it's nothing to set the world alight, so to speak.
Do you think that says a bit about him? Because Grealish himself has said it. Some said in the interview that at Villa, everything came through me. Like, what I do like about him off the pitch is that he's self-aware enough to just kind of talk out.
Yeah, he's very honest.
He's very honest. So he was like, you know, at Villa, everything came through me. Here, it's different. So, you know, the ball's shared around a lot more. If anything, the player that the ball goes through all the time is Kevin, De Bruyne. So for me, that's where, okay, fine. In those moments, when it's your phase of play to affect the game, are you doing it at the level required, etc.? And that's why I think, you know, well, another thing as well, people forget how old he is, right? He's not a young player anymore. I'm sure he's 27, 28.
Yeah.
So he's probably got a little bit more composure and a little bit more experience in front of goal. But I do think once Doku gets that composure and this decision making, I think it's a long day for Grealish.
Yeah, and I guess it's more about off the ball, because if you're not the guy where everything is going through, you've got to make sure you're in positions to receive the ball, to be or do something effective when you get it.
Yeah, and they like to win the ball back high and early. And all that stuff,
and if you're not in those positions to receive the ball, you're either not going to get it, and then you just kind of look like you're just floating around in the game, innit? So that could be something that he might need to work on.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. We never know what's going on in training and what Doku's showing or not showing or whatever else. So yeah, as I said, City march on.
And they got a lot of games in it. Like, the minutes will be shared. Like, they got Champions League.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still in the FA Cup.
That's the other thing. They're still in 3 comps.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, they could do trouble again. In theory, as it stands now.
Yeah, easily.
Wow.
That's mad, isn't it? Like, even thinking about it.
Saying that out loud is a bit crazy. Yeah, because we got to think about that Champions League bit, right? Apart from Real, who's a real threat to them? Because it's not like last season, you know, Napoli were going crazy, Inter were doing bits. So we're like, okay, this could be interesting. Right now, if it's not Real and Jude and all the young youths at Real, who's got smoke for City?
I would say Madrid or Arsenal, just because you've gone close with them. But then I think it depends on how Arsenal navigate. So you've got Porto. Like, I think you'll beat Porto, no problems.
Yeah.
In the quarterfinals, you could play another English team, so you could buck City in it.
So, but
it's
let me
about
throw this.
Having the experience to get through that. It's not like just playing Man City in a Premier League game. Happens all the time. There's something massive at stake over 2 games, isn't it? And
that's
like,
the thing.
And like, not in a like, I'm not having a dig, but like, Arteta's very emotional, and you can see that translate.
Bro, I was literally about to say the same thing.
So
that I think if you, without trying to like extrapolate things too big, if you just look at how this team learns, right? So like, they go through stuff. Probably they seem to learn emotionally, like a lot of teams. But some teams, they just get through it. They have enough quality to get through it. They learn emotionally. So I just think with this being their first decent stab at a Champions League campaign as a team, if we backed City in a quarters or semis, it'd be interesting to see how they coped with that Champions League night. You know, under the lights, the music, it's the Champions League. you guys need to do this to prove yourself. Because they hear all of that stuff. They hear all the chattings. They get all of that stuff. So how they deal with that stuff emotionally, like how Arteta does all this ranting and raving on the sideline.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And then when the ball falls to Saka or Martinelli or Havertz, God forbid, have they got the composure to handle it? So on any game,
I think you or Real Madrid would be their threat. Like PSG are just flat.
They're always
Bayern.
I was gonna say Bayern,
but they're not. It's like a 2-2 Bayern, isn't it? Like it's not quite the same, innit?
Champions League.
Like they're playing the back three with Eric Dyer in it, man. Like,
don't do this, bro. Because you like to. We need to talk about this. We talk about this. Keep.
Go on.
Bro, you like to like you when the player gets in your sights, yeah, that's it, bro. That is it. Isaac has specific clubs that he doesn't like. He puts a target on them. You as players, Dan Burn can't catch a break with you. Jordan Ayew, Eric Dyer, bruv. Maybe Thomas Tuchel. This is a Champions League winning manager, you know. Thomas Tuchel, and he beat Pep in the final. This is not a joke, man. Yeah.
Pep.
He got Kai Havertz to.
Pep lost that final himself.
Nah, man.
Like, come on.
Thomas Tuchel is a magician. He got Kai Havertz to score Champions League winning goal. Yeah. I know Eric Dyer is playing in that, but I just think there's enough quality and experience there to not rule them out. But for me, Real Madrid are the clear challengers to Man United's, to Man City's current holding of the Champions League. I think it would have to be Bayern next. I think you put Bayern there before Arsenal. Do you think that Arsenal deal with Bayern calmly tomorrow?
I don't think calmly, but I think you could. Like just looking.
I think we could beat them.
Yeah, looking at how Bayern have played of late compared to how we have seen Bayern play. Granted, like going into the Champions League, it's a different breed, innit? Like we said, go back to the experience.
They got players, bro. They got players.
Done it. Like Musiala's done it. They got like Kane's got. I mean, like millions of goals. I'm not totally ruling them out.
Full is temporary and all that.
Yeah, just like if we're looking at it today, if there was like a semi-final between Arsenal and Bayern Munich today, I would say Arsenal were going through.
Oh, interesting.
Obviously, the quarterfinals are going to happen in end of March, start of April, so like a lot can happen in that time frame.
Yeah.
But
look, you're right. They got a lot of games, but I would expect, depending on their path, I'd expect City to, they're going to be doing at least semis. And I would expect them or Real to be in the final. I don't think they're on the same side of the draw. I'm not entirely sure.
That doesn't matter now. Like, the draw is not until... So they do the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And then they do a semi and final draw. So it doesn't matter where you are.
Is it?
Yeah. Like,
so
it's just random.
Man City and Real could get each other in the semis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or quarters.
Which would be decent. All right. Yeah. We'll see. All right. Moving on. Spurs. I was ready to clown Spurs a little bit yesterday when I saw that Brighton went ahead. But they brought it back, man. Brought it back. Johnson scoring a 96th minute injury time winner.
Yeah, good goal as well.
Yeah, good goal, good finish. Poor defending though, I'm not gonna lie. And it's interesting for him because I feel like there's been almost a unanimous verdict on his time at Spurs. Has been like sort of, lots of energy, beats his man, etc. But that final product has just been lacking a little bit.
Yeah.
So for him to come up with a winner like that with his confidence, no well and good. But yeah, Spurs are grinding out the results. You're at home, don't get me wrong, you should be beating them. And Brighton haven't been fantastic lately. I think, the win the other day, I think they've only had 3 wins since September or some ridiculous stat.
It's very, very sketchy.
So you could argue, this is a game that on the current form and being at home, Ange ball and all that, Spurs should be dispatching with Brighton. I'm just saying it. Like the narratives, they're the best ever.
So
clearly,
I was having a conversation with my Spurs supporting friend who you know.
Oh yeah.
On Friday actually.
Big up the unnamed Spurs fan.
And yeah, he'll be listening, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I said, granted, Ange is doing a job, but he's not doing anything revolutionary. So I don't get why there's so much hype around it. I was like, all he's doing is playing a high line. And I was like, outside of that,
yeah.
tell me what Ange has done that we haven't seen before.
Wait. So let's just clarify that haven't seen before bit, right? Because he's been celebrated versus the previous two managers. If I remember correctly, it was Mourinho straight to Conte, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right? With a little bit of, what's my man? The youth guy they roll out in between games.
Mason.
Yeah. With Ryan Mason a little bit in between and that. But it's not just a high line, bro. Like, just the entire premise of how they play is on the front foot, is to attack. That's not what we saw with their previous two managers. We saw back fives. We saw sitting deep and playing on the counter. We saw Harry Kane having to basically play deep line playmaker to get hold of the ball. This team, they've got fullbacks or wingbacks that basically play as part of a front. Might as well be a front five.
Yeah, no.
If you're a centre midfielder in Ange's team and you've got the ball in a forward phase, you look to your right, you've got your right back like on the edge of the box. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just a highlight. I think he definitely has given his players a style of play that allows them to be, again, as I said, on the front foot, a lot more attacking, be braver, and take the game to teams. And I think after however many years of the previous managers, that was always going to be celebrated. And it's a bit fashionable now. Like, as much as I loathe to have anything to agree with people like Sam Allardyce and that, yeah, it is fashionable now. If you play, quote unquote, more progressive football, you keep the ball, you try and play through progressively from the back, it's gonna be celebrated more.
I understand that. And like, I'm not like having a dig in terms of like I guess in terms of kind of the media furore around what he's doing. Like in terms of like football and watching it, I enjoy it. Like it's good because everyone should like progressive forward thinking football, as you said. But it's like, he's come in and he's done this. Okay, fair, but he's a new manager, innit? Like he's gonna come. That's the thing. He's gonna come in and have his ideas. Like,
but I think it's because it's Spurs. So recently they've not had that, and maybe for a while they've not had that in a way that has actually meant they might do something with it.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think that's what's got to happen. They've got to show that this style of football that they're playing can make them get up the rung, which is where they want to be, where they've kind of been teetering for the last couple of years. They want to be like, right, we can dine with the big boys now, innit? And it might happen. I think I would have said up until a few weeks ago, Villa were favourites for that full spot. But we've seen they've been in a bit of a slump of late. So
I still think they did a few additions, personally.
With Villa?
No, Spurs. But
they've got a good 11. Their squad is
it's shallow. I think the other thing as well is the thing why people have been a bit excited by Andrew and the way Spurs plays. He's also doing it with some players that were unknown or weren't as widely known. So
were kind of cast aside last season.
Yeah, exactly. So you got people like Udogie and Pedro Porro, Van der Ven. These are not people that people knew of, or when they first joined Spurs made anything of a splash. Over the last couple of years we've been talking about the Bentancurs, Kulusevskis, all the usual, and then they bring in someone like Maddison. So I think it's also the players that are doing well for them.
Yeah, I think they've got their scouting down right.
Yeah,
because like Vicario. I know Udogie wasn't signed by Ange.
No, it was.
But he saw enough in him in pre-season to be like, right, I can trust this 20-year-old kid at left back. Porro, Van der Ven, I think is a terrific signing. Just in terms
he's basically like a version of Tarkowski that can actually play football. It's crazy.
Like the pace, like the reading of the game, like very good. And I think everyone kind of knew what Maddison would be able to do. It's just a case of would he do it at a better club than Leicester? And it just looks comfy for him, isn't it? Like
he's probably still a level below if you ask me.
Very comfy. But Brighton had, I'd say on the game, Brighton had a lot of chances yesterday. Like they squandered.
Did you see how Danny Welbeck was moving? Bro.
Dinky Wells.
Where was he where we needed him at Arsenal. that footwork in the box wasn't
when
happening.
he was younger.
Bro, that footwork in the box wasn't happening. The way he chopped that defender, and the what? Yeah, listen, Wobbs is feeling it down there. I'm not gonna lie. Lallana started as well.
Yeah.
Becoming a bit of a OAP United team. But it's both ends. They got two extreme ends. Haven't they? They've got super young players. In some games they can start the team. So yeah, you're right. And is it becoming a bit of a similar story with Brighton in terms of not finishing the chances, or is it the personnel? Because I feel like Pedro's been pretty clinical recently.
Yeah, he has been, but he's out injured now, so they missed him. But I don't know whether it's kind of the pressure that's got to him, but Matoma hasn't delivered kind of half as much as what he was doing last season. And like the question I had was kind of, is it De Zerbi kind of getting things wrong, or is it just like his players not really delivering? Could it be a combination of both?
But there's even a third one, right? People are used to now.
Yeah.
Right? So people will have studied Matoma's game. I've not watched it closely, but it won't surprise me if he's getting an element of double team now, if people's positioning has changed slightly to nullify the dribbling. Like, it just wouldn't. That's one thing they always say about the Premier League, and that people learn, people do the analysis, they do all that stuff, right? They do all that stuff. So that wouldn't surprise me. But plus he was away for the Asian Cup as well, so not played that much. Ansu Fati hasn't had the continued impact that one would expect. He would have
shone a bit more, to be honest.
Yeah. But then what do we expect from Brighton, right? We're judging them against their own good...
Yeah, we're judging them against last season, basically, aren't we?
Well, yeah, and their own kind of... the high bar they've set. But if we look at the table, we're Brighton at their 9th for a team of that spend and
35 points. And again, it's weird because like they win 2 or 3 games on the bounce, and they could be challenging.
That's what I'm saying.
Man United.
Yeah, we've got 14 games left. Time's running out. Don't get me wrong, but I think if Brighton finish in the top 10, there should be no complaints.
Oh no. I think there'd be a bit of surprise because of how well they finished the season last season.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they'd be aiming for top 10. Like top 10, they stay in the Premiership. They're financially still stable, etc. So I don't think it's a sniff to complain at a top 10.
Yeah, no, I agree.
To be honest. But it was a bit unfortunate because the equaliser, the Udogie, he crossed it in. It got blocked on the line, hit the post. No, it wasn't Udogie, sorry. Sarr. He went to cross it in. Guy in the line blocked it, hit the post, and it came back to him. And he tapped it in. Quite a good finish, difficult finish on his left.
Yeah.
And then the winner was just from Brighton pushing on to try and score, which is fair play to them.
Yeah, exactly.
You're away at Spurs, like 96 minutes. Some people might just be like, right, let's just get the draw.
Yeah.
Try for the win. And they just got caught on a counter, man. And it just happened that I think it went from like Maddison to Richarlison to Son to Johnson. And like they're the four key players for Tottenham, innit? And
he finished well, like roof of the net with Vim. You'd think 96 minutes, he might be a bit, he just said, I'm putting my foot through this.
Yeah, and it was a good goal, man. But it'll be interesting, like, Son back for them now. They've got no other distractions to worry about. So
yeah, that's true. And if I look at their fixtures, it's not the scariest. Wolves at home next week. Then Chelsea away, which has been postponed because of the League Cup final. Palace at home, they're not going great at the moment. Then Villa away, 10th. That's almost like a little mini, rest of the outside of the top 4 type clash. Villa need to butt their ideas up, but all this good work's going to go to waste. Then they got Fulham away, and then Luton at home. So they got a decent run in games now. West Ham at home. To be honest, the next team they play around them. So you got Spurs. Well, you got Villa early March, and then Newcastle 13th of April. So they've probably got, in that run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games where they would expect to be taking maximum points, if not draws.
Yeah, I think that Villa game will be interesting.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Brighton, on the other hand, if I look at their fixtures, got Sheffield away next week. Those are the games they should be winning. We've got Everton at home. Fulham away, Forest at home, and then Man City at home. So if you're them, obviously they'll take it for granted. It's definitely like fighting for their lives, but you're looking 3 points at Sheffield. Should be beating Everton. Then,
that's the beauty of the league, man.
Yeah, like Fulham away, tough. Forest at home, they should be beating them.
Yeah, so think you're going to win a game and then...
Depends which Brighton turn up. They're a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team, to be honest.
Yeah, very much so.
A bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team. All right. Let's move on to the Fulham game. Fulham 3, Bournemouth 1. Where's Solanke when you need him, mate?
This was just about Bournemouth defending very, very, very poorly. Like the first one, Deconoba Reeves scored. I can't remember who the defender was, but he just went to control it and then like lost his foot in, and then he just like Deconoba Reeves just nicked in and scored. And the second one, Nunez, the ball got crossed in. There was a defender there, and it's like he didn't want to defend it. So Nunez just came in and it's poor.
Yeah, Nunez got like two kind of silly goals, to be honest. And again, Bournemouth, they've been better of late. I will say that, but they've lost 3 of their last 5 and 2 draws. But it felt like they were getting in a bit of momentum. Solanke was scoring, but they're not that far away from. They could get dragged back into this relegation conversation.
I think they was in a good run of form up until they played Liverpool, and then they struggled a bit.
But Fulham, they're marching on 1 point above Bournemouth, so it's important for them. 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss in the last 5. So that was an important win for them. I don't know, what's a good season for Fulham? They're missing, obviously they're missing Bassi, they're missing
Mitrovic.
Huh?
Mitrovic.
No, I can't believe I've forgotten his name. Iwobi.
Yes,
obviously,
course,
he's obviously playing today in the AFCON final. So I would say they're key players for them at this point, but they should have more than enough. But Bournemouth have a game in hand. They've played one more game than a lot of the teams around them. So what is a good season for Fulham?
So I think they're in that 14th to 9th kind of bracket.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't really expect them to get dragged into the relegation zone, but you wouldn't really expect them to be challenging for like a Conference League space. So I think if they fall within there, then that's good. And it's weird, like you say, those kind of teams should always look for like a good cup run. So obviously they got to the semi-final of the League Cup, so they were trying quite like, other than kind of few dodgy decision making against Liverpool in the first leg in the semi-final, they might have been in a better position. So I think those kind of teams, like good cup run and just not be worried about relegation, that's good enough for them.
Yeah,
I would say until something happens where they start breaking in. So like Brighton have had that trigger point.
So making the right signings.
West Ham have had that trigger point.
The right youth players come through, or you get a buyout or something.
Yeah. And this is it, like, as good as Willian is and has been.
He's 33, 34, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is that the kind of player you want to be relying on? Their left back Robertson, I think, is really good. They've been talking about Liverpool wanting to sign him and other Champions League teams looking at him.
Respect is not Liverpool material.
I don't know,
I don't think so.
I think,
he's good, but we're talking about trying to win the league and Champions League every year.
I was saying he could come in and work well under Klopp, but Klopp ain't like we've seen the whole Klopp.
To get used to the idea.
That's what I was thinking. Like we've seen like players come in who aren't stellar, come to Liverpool and kind of just fit in and do quite well.
Fair.
So,
but that was, I think the thing with when Klopp got there was he was coming in to get you to where you needed to go.
Yeah.
But now signing players when you're there, I think is different.
Oh, you've got to be.
I don't think you can sign Andy Robertson now. I'm not sure if you can do that because
maybe one in it. Like you could, because
do you see what I mean?
The
player Andy Robertson is now.
Yeah.
To bring someone in to now be the understudy or play when he can't play, that's not the Andy Robertson you bought from Hull, wherever you bought from. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think the goalposts have moved slightly. And you see that with other players you bought, like, again, look at Harvey Elliott, good young talent. If that was at the earlier cycles of Liverpool, he probably is of a higher level within that pool of players. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But when you're coming into this Liverpool that is expected to, well, that has been pushing Man City, you know, get Champions League.
The level's got to be there straight away, innit?
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah,
so
100%.
So,
but I think Fulham, they could, I don't know, like I would say they could break into that kind of 9th to 7th, 6th, but like you've got to get all the ingredients right, innit? With a club like that and at that level.
Everything's got to fall in.
Yeah, everything's got to be perfect. And is Marco Silva that guy? Like this is his 3rd bite of the cherry in the Premier League, innit? So
I think he's a good manager. I think he's shown that at various clubs. I can't remember what happened at Everton. Just
weren't very good.
Yeah, fair enough. Was he the manager before?
Oh yeah, because he went to Watford, innit? He done well at Watford.
Yeah.
And then he went to Everton. It just seemed like it was a step too far.
Yeah.
But then we just know Everton being.
And wasn't Ancelotti the next manager?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. A bit.
So and I always wonder with managers like him, like if he went somewhere, I'm not saying Fulham isn't a well-run club, but if they just run with slightly different resources, etc., what someone like Silva could do. But yeah. What do you think about the Dominic Solanke calls for England?
Yeah, I think it's totally justified. Like we're not blessed with millions of prolific English strikers currently. Like if you spun it back 25 years, players like Solanke, Watkins, and who else on the fringe? The Newcastle guy, Wilson. They would. So I was saying compared to strikers,
Callum Wilson,
compared to the caliber strikers we had 20 odd years ago, these guys wouldn't be getting a sniff compared to like the Robbie Fowlers, the Ian Wrights, the Michael Owens, and that. So the quality's dropped massively. We've got to work with what we got. You got Kane. Let's say Kane is 10, yeah, or might be a 9.
Wait, hold on. You see that whole striker quality has dropped thing, yeah. Can I just test that a little bit? So what we basically
whatever you say, I'm right.
Nah, bro, wait, because not everything else is equal, right? So, for example, are we just saying players are scoring less goals? Are we saying there's less top strikers around? Because I think there's so many factors that go into that. Has defending got better?
Okay, so I would say my factors are, right, because we don't play 2 up top now.
Yeah.
The number of strikers that we have has diminished because a lot of teams play with 1 striker and then you've got like floating 10s and stuff like that. So where back in the day, you'd have like your natural wingers, they'd put crosses in for your 2 strikers. That doesn't really happen anymore. So there's I guess a lack of number 9s.
So you're saying this is just an England thing?
No, I think this is like a worldwide thing. So there's a lack of number 9s just in general, right? And I think because there's a lack of number 9s, I think the quality of them has diminished like massively over the years. Like if you look at the strikers we had like from let's say 96 to 2000 and not even 2000, say like 2015, let's be generous.
Yeah.
I think the quality gap is ridiculous. Like there's no way Solanke, Watkins, Wilson could get a sniff near Alan Shearer, Robbie Fowler, Les Ferdinand, Ian Wright.
But I think, I hear you said about, I always think 2 things. One, steel sharpens steel, right? So if those are the guys that you're in the game with, so I think just by the law of probability, some of those guys, they get better. They put better numbers because people are pushing them. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Some people stay where they are. They're just not good enough. But I do think that it's just too easy to be like, there was better strikers that score better goals. There's less strikers now, so it's not as good, number one. I also think that the goals are spread out as well. So you're right, there's less number 9s, but wingers weren't putting out the numbers wingers are putting up today.
Yeah, no, that's good because the dynamics of football have changed. Like the goals are spread. But I think that
styles of play, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that's at a detriment to the number, like the general number 9.
Okay. I don't know. On paper, yes, you can look at this group of players and say, yes, we had this group of bad boy strikers, and then now we might struggle to name strikers that as a group are as good as them. But if we had to just pick people who score goals, I think we could pick a decent group of players that still score goals.
Pick 3.
3.
Without naming Haaland.
No, but you can't say that.
Without naming Haaland.
Why? Haaland is our Shearer.
Haaland and Kane.
Bruv.
Right now.
No, that's not fair.
No, but that's
just
the reality.
Take them two out.
Yeah, that's the reality of it.
Because you're going to say them two. So
No, I was going to say them two. Salah.
Yeah, so name 3.
Salah's not a striker.
No,
no.
This is what I said. I said if you just take anyone who scores goals, that's what I said.
No, but I hear that. But we're
That's what I'm saying. So
we're
I was
talking
gonna
about
put
wingers.
but that's still not fair.
It's not
fair. He's not a striker. He's not playing through the middle. He's not the number 9.
No, but I guess my point is, before we relied largely on strikers to score goals. Like, if you were elsewhere in the team...
I wouldn't expect you to say Lampard.
Yeah, and to counter that, I would say, like, go back, I keep saying go back 20, 25 years. You could go to each nation and get at least 3-4 bad boy strikers.
Yeah.
Where now...
Yeah, wait.
Proper language.
It's them to score goals. But back in the day, you weren't dissing or cussing the midfielder because he didn't score enough goals, right? They talked about their passing, etc. It's only because of people like Lamps and all these lot came, midfielders scoring goals.
No, but I feel like Lampard and that was like exceptional in that field, just in that field though.
True, they were. But that's what the era where we started judging everybody, apart from the defenders, on how many goals they scored.
I think it was Cristiano.
You think it was Cristiano?
That's what I think he
started blowing the lines.
Yeah, he started blowing the lines.
40 goals
of a winger.
Yeah. So everyone worked for the striker to score goals, right? Get your cross in, all of that stuff. Now, it's that, but you have to score. If you're a wide forward, people even... cussing Declan Rice that he didn't score enough goals. Goals are not part of
That's not what he's there for, is it?
Yeah, so you see what the point I'm trying to make though?
I could check now, but I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember Hazard having a crazy goal scoring season.
No, 19 I think was the most he scored in the league.
Was the most.
Yeah.
And that was probably just one, like, what was the others? It wasn't round that either.
But his assist stats was mad as well.
Assist stats. Yeah. But he's regarded as
one of the best.
Greats.
Yeah.
One of
just
the
because of what he was doing.
Yeah, but he don't have to score like Salah.
No, but you're proving my point. Like, I don't know. I just think it's easy. Yeah. So Hazard, the most he got in a season here was 16 goals, but he got 15 assists that season.
But you expect the assists.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The
but
goals
now,
is extra.
But now, if you're playing in those positions and you don't score, Saka could get 20 assists this season. If he doesn't score enough goals, people are going to talk.
Yeah, but that's due to the evolution of football.
That's what I'm saying. If Martinelli could get 20 assists this season, if he doesn't score enough goals, people are going to talk. Do you know what I mean?
But it's because of how Arteta sets up his team to put them in positions to score. No? Yes?
No, I think the expectation is there.
So it's just you're a winger, we expect you to get 10 to 20
the conversations about
all
the wingers
of
now.
Who you play for, if you're in that front three,
bruv,
you got a bag. Just because we've seen
it's
it.
Nuts. And now it's now transferring backwards. Odegaard has to score a certain amount of goals. Like, they're expecting KDB to score a certain amount of goals. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way the game has changed. So that's what I'm saying now. If we're going to really check it, the way I would compare it is say, right, who was scoring the goals? Even if you take out position, if we go back then, it was striker scoring all the goals. Yeah? Who's scoring all the goals now, and has the level gone up or down? That's how I would personally do it.
The level's gone down.
You still think the level's gone down?
Definitely gone down.
You think we're scoring less goals now?
Just like what Keith said, we can go through every nation and we can name some serious
goal scorers or strikers?
Strikers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But if we take away the position...
But even, I'd say that eliminate strikers. I think it goes down to players.
Yeah.
Players as well, back in the day.
Yeah, we're not... Like, if you said to...
I think we've got less personalities. But
I think if I ask T now, name me the top 5 Italian players.
No.
15 years ago, reel them off.
Yeah.
Same with Brazil. Reel them off.
Can't do that. Italy can't do it.
Like,
You got
do you see what I
Tonali.
mean?
Donnarumma.
Not
Tonali.
massive today.
What's his name? That's his name.
Not even Chiesa.
Tonali.
Not even Chiesa. Man didn't even start with Chiesa.
Yeah, but is Chiesa like a bad man? Like
He
he's
was
just
before he got injured.
he's just a player, innit?
Look at the name. Donnarumma.
The goalkeeper. Yeah, but you pick someone that's not really in their cycle.
All right, Germany.
Germany.
I'd say
quick,
Musiala is their best player.
quick.
Musiala.
And Sane.
Quick.
Musiala, Sade,
Gnabry.
Quick.
Kimmich.
Kimmich is like, he's good, but
Yeah,
he's
I'm
like...
struggling still.
He's a G in that league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we've had conversation about the quality of football drop, and I think it has. Just like, we shouldn't be struggling to name top 5 players from each nation.
That doesn't mean that the quality is
I
dropped though.
think it does, man.
Hmm.
And we've got access to everything. We see what they're doing
I think that's a bad thing.
everywhere.
I think that's a bad thing.
You think so?
But back then we could watch 2 things: Premier League and Italian football on Sunday. Yeah. Everything else, if you didn't see the Champions League, we had to see it later or read about it.
But when you were seeing it,
And you still knew those guys.
you were seeing Batistuta slapping the ball, Totti
Yeah, but
slapping
you didn't
the
know what
ball.
was going on in Germany. You didn't know what was going on in France.
Yeah, but you knew of the
Until
players.
Champions
No,
League.
though.
not in Germany, but we knew Bayern were.
Yeah,
That's level.
like you knew
Yeah.
of the players that they had, and they were like when the international.
I don't know.
tournaments
I think if we ask someone younger, they could do 5
knew
bad
about
players.
Ballack when he was at Leverkusen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that's only because of the Champions League.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. This is why I think the players are better because they crossed over into the Champions League and were beasts. I don't think
the
it's
average
the
level has gone
same.
up.
But apart from Bayern, like they're still
The-
doing their thing. But
the bottom has gone up
Yes.
and the top has come
Schalke
down.
used to be hard back in the day.
Yeah, Dortmund.
Dortmund.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's too easy to like.
Okay, let's take out.
I just think the playing field's got a little bit leveler, and we produce more. I don't want to call them robots, but you know what I mean. There's definitely less
we said that
personalities in the
last-
game.
Yeah, we
Bro,
said that
did-
last week. didn't it?
If we really look
There's
back
less personalities
here
now.
at the teams like Champions League, just for example, the teams from each nation, like Portuguese teams, they were serious.
Yeah, Porto.
Even
Benfica.
Russian teams, Zenit,
Yeah. Because I know the bloody Brazilians.
serious. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
serious
Yeah.
teams.
And
bro.
Shakhtar in Ukraine.
doing the madness.
Yeah.
But I think even if you look forward to the European Championships this summer, it's like, what players are you looking forward to seeing? It's just-
Mbappe.
The Euros.
but Mbappe's
Saka.
like Mbappe's the guy in it. Like
Yeah.
everyone knows
Yeah,
that. Outside of
France, England,
it's just-
what else?
that, yeah, it's just
Yeah, but they're
I think it's more
number
about-
3 in the world or something.
it's more about who's going to
Musiala.
stand out, who's going to be the breakthrough. Where before you just knew it was just going to be a shootout of like top quality players. You knew who you're going to see. It's going to be a good tournament.
Zlatan,
But you say that,
Shevchenko.
but if we look at who's won what, it's been largely the same kind of group of people. Because we say all these bad boy strikers and all of that stuff, but if we look at who's won what, we had one
Euros,
shot with
past Euro
Greece.
winners.
We had one shot with Greece. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
but
that-
Even,
okay,
that, even that team wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
No,
but
like
if you
a
look
couple
at
people-
but if you
Yeah,
go
it was
back,
hard
players.
defense, get on the wing and
but
crack.
if you
Yeah,
look at
of
those
course.
Spanish and German teams and the French teams that
Yeah.
won stuff,
Yeah.
the players were top
Look
quality
at Spain,
players.
yeah, when they wasn't winning anything.
Yes.
Look at the Spain team when they wasn't Raúl and them, man.
Exactly.
When they wasn't winning anything. That team was
Yeah,
serious.
but who was? It was Germany
Portugal,
or Brazil.
when they
With,
wasn't winning
with
anything.
serious players.
Rui
Portugal only won
Costa
one
and them.
thing though. Just one. We can't say they
Yeah.
like the other time when they won stuff. They won one thing. Holland won.
Look
haven't-
at that Dutch
they haven't
team,
won
man. Look at
anything
that
since
old
86.
Dutch team.
I guess the point I'm making is, even with all of that, we can still probably count on this one hand the people that have won the most stuff between them in the last 30 or 40 years. Even with all of that. So that hasn't really changed much, then, has it?
Yeah, but I still think like even if
England
you,
hasn't won anything out
yeah,
long.
but even if you go back even to the England squad,
Yeah.
if you look at the positionally, we're not as blessed in the number 9 position as what we used to be.
But this team has
Or-
done better than any of them England teams have done.
I know, but I'm just saying. But I think that's like a managerial thing. I don't think that's a player thing.
Oh, no, you can't move the goalpost now.
No, of course you can. Of
Yeah.
course you can.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say that.
like,
I
we
feel
haven't
that is
got
one
the
thing you
goalkeepers.
say if we had a better manager, we would have won.
Yeah, we haven't
something.
got the goalkeepers
Definitely.
we used to have. We haven't got the centre backs. I'd say only the wingers and that the 10s are the only players that could kind of compete with essentially the golden generation. Other than that, I think the whole quality just dipped.
But this goes back to the argument of the type of footballer, the type of football that's being coached into kids now. I think it's created what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
So it's a bit. So it's a bit. I don't know, man. It's
The levels dropped.
yeah, like the levels drop. Definitely 100% the levels drop. But when you look back at the nations, the teams, like the actual countries' teams back in the day, and then you compare them to now.
Rob, look who
These
Brazil's
they're not
number 9 is.
players.
I think this
They're not
is
players like
Brazil's
back in the
number
day.
9
players.
I think this is a generational thing. You know why? Because every there's always cycles, right? And in the cycle, some countries are top, some are not. But if we brought kids in there today, or even kids in their late teens, early 20s, they don't know any different. I think they would be able to name certain players, etc., etc. Don't get me wrong. Like, my inclination is to be like that because obviously R9, Ronaldinho, I'm not seeing anybody, Neymar, like all these people, I'm not seeing anybody now that is like them for me. But if I'm growing up now and I'm seeing Mbappe, I have to be fair, if you're growing up now, you'll have seen a bit of Neymar, you're seeing, Vinny. But do you know what I mean? It's just different people taking on that mantle.
It's proper like, I feel
Just
like
flat.
I'm one of them ones. We're killing the game. We're turning into athletes.
Yeah, we are.
This is
we are.
athletics.
Yeah.
That's
Stats.
Because even before the Ronaldinho and that,
Mm.
it was Pele and them sort of like those sort of
Yeah.
teams. They can chat to each other about balling out. Those Brazil teams can chat to each other. Now, can't talk like.
And the thing is, like, with Vinny, I don't know if you saw Vinny's performance yesterday against Girona. Vinny is cold, but the flair is minimal, in it.
They're taking it out of him.
Yeah, it's just like you can do what you can, dubs a band on the line, get past a couple, the dribbles are nice, but there's no excitement, flair in it. Like,
in this football now, it's pointless to do. It's what you're slowing everything down,
Yeah.
innit? Doing those things is slowing
seeing
down.
one of Brazil's top guys not being flair, it's a shame, innit? Because obviously we grown up on it. So
I think it started with Kaká. That was the first Brazilian player where people said, nah, he plays like a European player.
yeah,
That's Brazilian. Because he wasn't about tricks and flair. He was effective. He was fast. His passing was sick. Shooting was sick. He had the game IQ, etc. I always remember that conversation from thingy. Like, look, don't get me wrong. I agree with the individualism and the personality is gone out the game. We're not going to send over Zlatan, I don't think, because he'll be called arrogant. He won't make it. They won't even let him through.
no.
Like, he will say a couple of things in the dressing room and they'll
Do you know what?
get rid
They
of him
will get through though. Because let's be honest.
because he's banging the goals.
Yeah. If you do that, there's nothing no one can tell you. There's nothing a manager will tell you or a manager can do if you're doing the business on the pitch.
But I guess what I mean is that,
Just people like
but his personality, not just what he said.
certain managers won't have him.
Well,
But he will still be in the top. He will be somewhere.
Well, sorry, it was less more about the stuff he said, but even like, you could see there's Zlatan in him in some of the things he did on the pitch. There's one goal he scored for Ajax here. He's chopped about 5 man. He could have shot and scored after the second one.
Yeah.
But even that, to do that guy doing that in the, because if he's doing that in the Ajax team, he's done it bare times.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just stuff like that. I just think, we're not
every
getting
coach
any of that
would
anymore.
cuss that player
Yeah,
after.
the best. So yeah, I agree with you. But yeah, the standard of it's interesting, and it's almost coming back a little bit now. A little bit, like a team like City buying a player like Haaland. You've obviously got Osimhen now. You got Vlahovic. It's almost like number 9 is almost coming back everywhere but Arsenal. But I feel like no, but you know what I mean? Like, if you go to Arteta now and said, you can have a man that just scores goals, but he's not going to do anything else, he's not taking him. No, I'm sorry, I need him to do this. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why people were surprised Pep bought Haaland. But he does do link up and all of that. But I think it's going, I don't know it's going to go full circle, but it's going back now. It's going back.
And
But remember,
I'll say what's strange is that considering teams play with one number 9,
Yeah.
how much work they want that number 9 to do.
Yeah.
Where, you know, like back in the day, you played with 2, like one would drop off, so like Heskey would drop off, Owen, etc. It's weird that you have a number 9 and you don't just feed him, like if that's what they did to put the ball in the back of the net.
But it goes back to Terrell's point though.
play like that though. Two up top.
Occasionally, so they've been playing with Morpay and Tony.
Have you seen the way they run? Like, it's not a last man business.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I feel like that's just regardless now.
Yeah.
You can't play anywhere on that pitch without, you have to
you got to
work like a dog.
But I think it goes back to the point you made, because then, defenders got better as well. That was the thing. I think back in the day, the front players were probably the ones that were athletic and quick and that. And some of the defenders, they weren't in the best of shapes.
Yeah.
And that's where the dark arts and all that came in. So as that leveled out, it kind of went that way. But it's an interesting one. I do think, and you've heard Scaloni, the Argentinian coach, come out and talk about it. Kids now, they got so much instruction. He talked about his kids in Spain and all of that.
But going back to what you said, Solanke should be in the conversation for England.
Yeah.
That's how we started.
Yeah, he should be. But my thing is...
So who are you bringing?
So no, he said should Solanke be in the conversation.
Okay. Who are you bringing?
What, to the Euros?
What, if you got 3 or... Because he knew he would take 3, innit?
3, yeah.
I'm taking Harry.
Yeah.
Tony.
Hmm.
Can I take a winger? It has to be a striker.
No, striker.
Today.
You got Ollie, Solanke, Callum.
It's got to be Watkins.
I think if Solanke carries on like this,
or Solanke,
I'm taking Watkins. But even between now and then, I think Solanke should have a chance in the squad. Be a right. That's what
he's
like,
never going to get a chance in the squad.
Yeah.
He's never going to get a chance in the squad.
He played once before.
Yeah, he's played once before. But just getting picked.
Tony didn't get a chance in the squad.
No, and I think that was because of other things. And I every time I say someone should be looked at for England, I'm not even saying that the guy should get picked and start.
Right.
But a big part of the England thing is getting picked for the squad, going and training. Do you know what I mean? So in the bigger squads before the Euros, I think you should get looking. And I think they should be rewarding. Yeah, they should reward.
There's only one more squad before you have to pick.
There you go. And I think they should reward. You're playing well. It's almost a carrot to dangle in my eyes. And you see other countries do it. Mancini used to do that for Italy. You play well for a bit. Come to this. This is where you could be. Yeah. This is what you could be doing. Do you know what I mean? He called up. They make fun of him, but he would argue it worked because by the time he got to the Euros,
done the job.
He had so many. Do you know what I mean? He'd gone for so many players, etc. So yeah, interesting. But we know Gareth State. He's got his favourites, and Rashford is clearly one of them. So that's not going to happen. So moving along now. West Ham 0, Arsenal 6. Now,
were you ball boy today or something, or are you just wearing that by chance?
I'm just part of the squad, innit?
I'm just
gotta feel it.
I'm just gonna get this in because obviously West Ham had a few games lately where they won a few games, people scoring, and people wanted to remind me what I said about David Moyes.
Now they want him out, innit?
So now I just want to know that on the same way a couple of 1 or 2 good games made me wrong, do these 2 games, conceding 9 goals in 2 games or whatever it is, does it make me right? Because conceding 6 goals at home is crazy.
4 in the first half is crazy.
I don't know. I'm just saying. But I think it was this is I don't want to call it a beat. This is a beating that's been threatened for a while, I think. Their last game against them was a painful one for the players. And obviously last season, that was where people thought the title challenge started to apple crumble. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's become a little bit of a thing with West Ham games at Arsenal. And today turned up, clinical, super good result. Scored from 2 set pieces. This set piece thing with Arsenal this season.
I'm telling you, set piece coach.
Yeah, I know.
Job,
hey,
bro.
You know those memes on Instagram where you have to go talk to your boss to get a pay rise.
He's definitely getting a pay rise.
you got to justify your pay rise. He can be like, listen.
He definitely needs a pay rise.
Most set piece goals.
Did you get him in the summer? Like, is he new or?
I think he's new. I think it's summer. Yeah, I think he's summer.
Yeah, because we had a chat about this, innit? Like, just in terms of, do you see the benefits of getting those kind of people into your club? And you can see it, man. Like, it's just, there was like, I think it was before you scored the first goal, you had a corner and there was just like 4 or 5 men just huddled on like the 6-yard box, like in a weird position. Like you just think, what are you doing? But obviously, they worked on it, and I'm assuming they adapt it.
No, he's been there since 2021.
Team on team.
I was going to say, I'm sure I've seen him.
He's been there since 2021. He came from City.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Came from City.
He's the one that's always in the technical area, isn't it? That's why I probably was seeing him way more.
No, he's not. You're thinking of
who? Carlos.
No, I've forgotten his name. The English guy that Arteta.
The physio.
No, there's another guy.
The guy with the glasses.
I want to say Steve Round, but I don't think that's his name.
No, not Steve Round. Not one of the old school guys.
Yeah, but it's working out for you. And yeah, you lot were good today, man. Like, to be honest, I didn't think West Ham would trouble you.
You didn't?
You didn't?
Nah.
Really? I only did think that because of the game they lost the other day. Otherwise, I thought, look, if we don't go there and pattern up Kudus and all these guys, Bowen, whatever, I wasn't taking it for granted, bro. It was just that defeat recently that made me think,
Now, do you know what? I thought we was going to win.
Yeah, I thought we was going to win, but not like this.
And I thought we would. I didn't think they would be
that bad.
A great a good team today because Paqueta weren't there.
Yeah.
When I saw Paqueta weren't there, I thought, they're not. I don't think nothing's really going to happen unless they do a mad break and then something happens like that. I didn't think nothing was going to happen, but I feel like we've shut out a lot of teams recently. Like hardly any shots on goal, hardly any shots on target. It's been very good defensively. We look very, very solid.
No, I'm just looking. I saw some stats this morning that were very, very interesting. And talk to your point. Just need to find them. But basically, on a lot of those bits you talk about, we're number one.
Defensively.
Yeah. So shots on goal, etc. before today's game.
Yeah, I think today's result is kind of one of those humps you got to get over. So like the Man City hump, got over that. Like you've had a fairly good record against West Ham of late anyway, but obviously there was that blip last season, and it's like, can you get over those? I think the same's happened with Liverpool. It's like those games that you wouldn't necessarily kind of win all the time or get points from. You're starting to get those points, and I think that's the difference kind of between now and last season. And I know like Daz has complained about the style of football, etc. Like I don't think he can complain now. I think you've just kind of got into like a good rhythm of how you want to play and how you're playing. And yeah, I
still think we can be more clinical up front. I think there's still a little bit to go, attacking wise. And it sounds funny saying that after today, but if you take away our set piece goals, if you look at recent games, there are even Liverpool, the goal Saka scored is a perfect little microcosm of our season, isn't it? The guy who goes through first should slot. Havertz should
score, yeah.
Yeah. But that's just kind of our season. But to your point, look, before today's game, goals conceded 22, lowest in the league. Expected goals against, which is a stat I hate, but 17.84, lowest in the league. Most clean sheets in the league, 8 clean sheets. Second lowest shots faced, and lowest shots on target faced as well.
So we see what's kind of. I think these recent games, we've kind of seen what Arteta wanted from the start of the season. Total control.
Yeah.
Give the opposition nothing. No shots on goal. No nothing. Like you just get nothing from us, kind of thing. And I feel like since the little break that we've had, and it's coming up to the business end of the season, if we keep this form going, you never know, mate. Might be coming home.
Do you think the Champions League might be a distraction for you guys?
It might be a good distraction now. We've got Porto. We should get past them. That gives us more confidence. So I don't see it as a distraction, because we're not in any other cups. No FA Cup, no Carabao Cup. Well, that's over anyway, but I don't see it being a distraction. I see it being good, especially for like Saka and Martinelli and those sort of players. I feel like it will be good. I feel like it's good.
So Jay and I had a conversation earlier about the emotional aspect of Arteta and what he kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Breeds into the team. Do you think that might have an effect at any point?
Do you know, like I've said, and I keep saying, we're an emotional team. we're an emotional team. We're a young team. We've got the manager, I feel like, is the perfect manager for this squad and the team as a whole. I feel like it's like when I think about Emery, he just wasn't the right fit for this team because we're very reactionary, like the fans, everything like that. I feel like this is just how we are. Yeah. This is just how we are, innit?
Yeah, that's just Arsenal.
Yeah, and I feel like it's
through and through.
Yeah, Arteta is just, it's like he's like an extra player for them on the pitch. I feel like the players really do react to him.
I think he'll also have learned. He would have learned from last year as well. There would have been things man's learned from the running last year, etc. And I think it might do us well to not be the ones being chased. Obviously, you want to be at the top. That's where you want to be as long as you can. But it's a different type of pressure. So yeah, we'll see. It seemed like everyone got on the score sheet today. Saliba, 2 goals from Saka, one of which was a penalty. Gabriel, Trossard scoring right at the stroke of half. 2 goals on the stroke of half time. Yeah. And then Declan Rice scored a lovely goal from the edge of the box, curling it into the opposite.
You should have celebrated.
No, you would never have celebrated.
Yeah, but like
I was thinking that if he's
getting booed all game, like, and I still think him being booed is nonsense. Like, it's total nonsense.
But to be fair,
like, if they weren't booing, I'd be like, cool. But I would have wheeled away, man.
But do you know what? Yeah,
trust.
I heard someone saying it, and I kind of agreed because I was like you as well. I was like, come on, look what he's done for your club. But then I was like, during the game, if they want to boo him, cool.
Yeah.
Put him off his game, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
You're back at home at your old club.
I don't want you to do well.
That we don't want you to have a good game. We rate you, we respect you, we love you as fans, but we're gonna boo the shit out of you.
Yeah.
My bad. We're gonna boo you. After the game, we're gonna applaud you.
Yeah. And you see that. Yeah, you see that. Yeah.
To be, there weren't many of them left to applaud him.
There you go. They left too early. Sorry.
Have you seen the memes of Odegaard with the camera? It's the fans leaving the stadium. Internet waste no time.
Yeah, like, I know people pay their own money. They can do what they like. If they want to leave, they want to leave. But I just don't get.
No, I think it was right. I think at the end of the game, show your love and respect. I remember going to the FA Cup final against Chelsea, and every time Cesc came to take a corner, people were booing. I was like, bro, this is Cesc. Are you not all right? And then the guy, people around were saying the same things. Like, no, right now,
he's
this
playing
game,
for Chelsea.
Bruv, he's Cesc, a Chelsea player. Yeah. After the game, he's Cesc the legend, did it? And then we'll whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. But look, I think it's just, it was fitting for him to score a goal like that against them because, he has to be one of the signings of the season. And people could say, oh yeah, for 100 million, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. But I would argue and say, this is a guy that came from West Ham, come from a team where, let's be honest, the expectation to win was at a certain level, and he's come to Arsenal, has made a big difference. And he's just calmly walked into the team and dealt with the step up. So for him to score that goal against West Ham today was very fitting, man. Super fitting.
It's like he's been there for years, isn't it? Like if he stayed for many years, I could see him being a captain, innit? Like,
100%.
Guys, like easily, like
100%.
He's of that mold.
I mean, if he was around at the time, I would argue that he should have. He would have been a big candidate for the captaincy.
Yeah, I was surprised Odegaard got it, to be honest. But
I was surprised until I found out he's captain of Norway as well.
Yeah.
And a few other things.
Yeah. And it's the same kind of tactic, innit? You're young, want to build a team around you. There's nothing more we can say about how much we believe in you than make you captain, innit?
And his performances, even when he's not playing the greatest, he's always showing for the ball. He's always running down the opposition. He's leading by example. Yeah. So
he hasn't even had many bad games, to be fair.
Yeah, you don't see him shouting and ranting and raving and da-da-da-da-da, but by example, how he plays, can't say he's top notch. So yeah.
Who was the kid that came off the bench today?
No, I don't want to mess up the name.
How do you say his name, Jay?
Who?
The kid that came off the bench for you guys. Is it Ethan something?
Ethan, yeah, Ethan.
Ethan came off the bench, and like I know there's been a bit of criticism.
Waneri. Just say Waneri.
Waneri.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's been a bit of criticism.
Racist. Look at these two asking the Nigerian guy in the room. Look at you two.
No, don't want to get it wrong, innit?
Don't want
Like,
to.
Fair. I'll let you lot off.
Yeah. If a few man seem distracted, we're watching the AFCON final during recording. So yeah, there's been a bit of criticism of Arteta not giving Arsenal youth much chance, and like after the game, he came out and said the senior players were saying, get Ethan on.
Really?
Which is I'm not saying it's the reason why he got put on, but it's interesting that he came out and said that kind of thing. Granted, it was like 5-6-0 when he came on.
Arteta's a master manipulator. I tell you, no one needs to know that. No one needs to know that.
Yeah.
And obviously, you put him on that one time. We haven't seen him since. Not seen him since.
He done that to secure him, innit?
Yeah, definitely.
Show him that there's the pathway there.
So look, as it stands, everything's kind of back to where it was. With everyone sort of winning this weekend. So if I look at the table, Liverpool top.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, all right.
When
City,
is City's game in hand?
All right, Man City
So
52 points second
next week.
with a game in hand, and then Arsenal on 52 points in third, and then Spurs are in fourth, 5 points behind on 47 points. So
I've got a question for Tyrell. If you finish behind Liverpool, is it a bad season for Arsenal?
Is it a bad season for Arsenal
if you finish behind
Liverpool? Yes.
Okay. I just wanted it on record.
Yes. Yes, it will be a bad season. But we're not going to finish behind Liverpool. Get that on record.
It's fine. It's there. We got the tapes.
Yeah. 14 games left. This is going to be interesting.
It's like it's going to be a triple threat match, isn't it?
Wow.
Listen.
Klopp going.
It's good though, because we haven't had something like this for
a while.
A long time. And it would be really good if all three teams can...
Goes down to the wire.
Yeah, can like be in the race. Even if it's till the start of May, where there's something in it.
Can I ask you honestly, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you threatened in any way, shape or form by Arsenal?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to see if
like if you could look at
he's
the
not one of those fans.
No,
if you look at the table, like you're 2 points behind us, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you might have a slightly harder run in. I think you've got to go away to Man United, City, and Tottenham. So I'm not saying it puts us in a favour, but you've got a bit of a harder run in, I would say.
Don't everyone, I don't know about away or home or away, but don't everyone have to face them teams?
Yeah, but like going away is like slightly different in it. Yeah. Like we've got to go away to Man United and Villa. Yeah, so yeah, I think that and Everton, like it's a derby game. But yeah, I think it'll be good if everyone kind of picks up points over the course. Like if you dropped off, I'd be more than happy. I don't particularly see it happening anytime soon. Maybe around important Champions League games when you might have to rest players, or I think we've seen rotation. Yeah, I think we've seen with Pep in the Champions League where he's got in his head, and we don't know if Arteta will get in his head when he might have to make a big call in it, because you might have a Champions League semi-final, quarter-final, and then a big away game in the same week. How will he react to that?
You even got games like today where Jorginho doesn't even touch pitch after doing what he did against Liverpool last week, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all there to play for. All there to play for. All right. Moving on. Nicely, Liverpool. They managed to come away with a
3-1 win.
With a 3-1 win against Burnley. Nothing less than one expected. To be honest, I expected a bit more of a comprehensive result. But
Right, we were fortunate. Not even gonna lie.
yeah,
To be honest,
they missed a few chances.
They were in the game. Fofana missed 2 really good chances. Well, yeah, we even went 1-0 up slightly against the runner play, but it is what it is. Like that happens in football. They scored a equaliser just for half time, like from a corner, poor defending. Kelleher might have done a little bit better, but it is what it is. And then Fofana missed 2 good chances in the second half. Kelleher with a good save and he put one wide. But Trent came off at half time because the reoccurrence of the injury he picked up in the FA Cup against Arsenal.
Oh, okay. I wondered what was going on.
And surprisingly, he put Curtis Jones right back, and he played really well. So Braun Elliott took over from Jones in midfield, and Elliott could have been man of the match for the second half performance he put in. Like, was creative, quite buzzy. He got 2 assists, so all good.
It's only Burnley.
What?
It's only Burnley. Anyone can play right back.
Still got to beat what's in front of you, bro. And Endo was back. He was my man of the match, to be fair. And like
Endo,
like we're just doing what needs to be done, innit? Like we're just ticking over and getting those results that you need to stay in contention for winning the league.
Goals across the whole forward line.
Yep.
Diaz, Nunez.
Yeah, Nunez' header was really good actually. Kind of behind him, arched it in.
Yeah, that was a decent header actually.
Yeah. So
decent header.
Yeah, and all the goals in the game were headers, bizarrely. So yeah, man, like we just doing what we got to do. I think Brentford 12:30 next Saturday is going to be a test. Like
away or home?
I know, away. So we know Tony's on form. He's got like 3 in 4 games since he's been back.
Yeah.
We know it can be a bit tricky. Like Man City didn't find it easy there last week. I think if we come out of that unscathed, I think that will kind of kick us on and then hopefully put us in good stead for the cup final at the end of the month. So
the Klopp send off begins, right? You're gonna beat
man.
Chelsea and then just keep it moving. Yeah?
Hopefully, man. Like, I'll be really upset if we didn't win that cup final, man. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like,
if Chelsea beat you that
Chelsea
cup final,
are gonna turn up.
I'd be so upset.
Chelsea are
man.
gonna turn up.
So upset.
And you know why it's mad as well? It's the only thing they've got this season.
Chelsea are gonna turn up.
Like, those players are gonna be fired up after all the rubbish everyone's been talking. Yeah, they're gonna be fired up. Proper fired up.
They are. But yeah, let's see, man. Like, I think even if Klopp leaves with 1 trophy, like, fair enough.
Don't
Is that
start.
alright?
Don't
Is
start.
that okay?
Don't start.
Why would it not be okay?
Don't start.
Well,
What do you mean 1 trophy? What do you mean 1 trophy? One Prem.
Aren't everyone
You taking second in Carabao Cup?
Is it not about trophies?
Second in Carabao Cup?
Based off last season, yeah.
You're taking it.
Based off last season,
What is
yeah.
it? No, based off his entire tenure.
No, but you can't say like his tenure's been like.
Yeah.
What do you mean we can't?
You shouldn't have fallen for that.
No.
You shouldn't have fallen for that.
No. I was saying you can't say Klopp's tenure's been poor.
I didn't say that.
No, we didn't say poor.
We didn't say poor.
We didn't say poor. You said poor.
Yeah.
No, because I thought that's where you were going. Like, because I know you do it. I know you do it. Like,
We got him.
Was it a success?
But
So what
no
did
one
you
said
say?
poor.
Was it a success?
yeah, of course it is.
Okay.
Leaving with a Champions League, a Premier League, losing out on the Premier League twice by a point.
No. You don't have to bring up that. You
But
He got
they
didn't-
love that, bruv.
You didn't
but
win
you're
it.
talking
It's
about
done.
But you're talking about his tenure.
It's
You're
cool.
talking,
And
no.
I'm saying
No,
what
but-
he's
but-
won
But if you're looking at
what
his
he's
tenure,
won
okay,
over his career at
Well, you can't
Liverpool,
just say what
is that
you
a
can't say.
success?
Oh, how his tenure been a success, and you say what he's won. You've got to look at the totality of it. So you got to look at his where we were when he came in and where he's leaving us.
When I do that, when I say that about Arteta and that, you lot don't want to take it. When I say
I've never said.
when I say he went toe to toe with the best team in the world, no one wants to give me that when we weren't even touted as top 4 contenders.
No, toe to toes, like going 1 point behind.
We
it.
did.
Not losing.
No.
Not losing
At the
that 8
end
point
we
advance.
lost.
Second place.
At the end we lost.
Second team ever, basically.
Granted, like you done well last season, but I'm saying if you look at Klopp's tenure from when he came in to where he's going to leave us and what he's done in between, like he got us to 3 Champions League finals. He was 3 Champions League finals. Won the Premier League, won the FA Cup, won the League Cup, got to a Europa League final, and obviously we fell short, like really close twice. So yeah, his tenure's been a success. Like, That's
Okay.
it.
What's that?
I think-
10 years. How
listen,
long was it?
9 years.
9 years.
genuinely, like, we if we're gonna have an honest conversation about, so if you just take it as a job, yeah, he's done great, right? As a job, he's done great. When it's time to start comparing him to other Premier League greats,
He's not great.
we're gonna have to have a convo.
He's not.
I'm sorry, we're gonna have to have a convo.
I don't care what anyone says. He's not.
Like even when you put all the qualitative stuff in, you're gonna have to have the convo. And I hate this thing of, oh, look at the time that he was managing the Premier League, bro. Everyone had someone mad to manage against. When Mourinho was winning titles, what was everyone else lying
Bro,
down?
I'm telling you, listen.
When Conte won his title, was everyone lying
When
down?
you talk about
I
the
don't understand.
greats, talk about Alex. Good old Alex.
Bro, look at Mancini.
Arsene
He won the league on goal difference. That's how hard it
Jose.
was.
and Pep. That's it. Liverpool, they will go down with the Leicester and the Blackburn. And that is the truth. I don't care how good the football is. You can't, you never dominated with your best team. You didn't dominate the Prem. You didn't win multiple league titles. You didn't break up the Pep and City juggernaut. You didn't do it.
And the interesting thing is about that is I've got a Liverpool fan, like, same age as us. And he's of the same view as he's not having it. He's not having it. He's like, look, yeah, thanks, mate, etc. But when we look back over the Premiership, you wouldn't have put enough on the table to be in a conversation with certain man.
Okay, so let's say we win the league this year.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that doesn't change anything?
I think it changes a
I
lot.
think it changes a lot.
I think it changes a lot. Because the same argument, and it'll be so convenient. You know why? Because the same argument everyone's using to say, oh, that's why there's only one league, will now become the argument as to why he should be great. Oh, he won 2 leagues whilst Pep was still around. it will all of a sudden it will turn around.
Mm.
And I think it will make a big difference. And don't get me wrong, you know me, I like to look at the things around the stats as well. But especially in the Prem, for better or for worse, we have seen people, managers, do a madness for a period of time.
Yeah.
Like even winning the league 3 times, I think that's mad to me. You know, as a Prem, as a manager, for Mourinho to be able to say that, for Pep, for
Ferguson.
Wenger, for Fergie, for all these men to say,
look,
I've won it multiple times. Joke, bro.
But we have to look at it because everyone loves to say, well, Liverpool fans, look at what we're going up against. Yeah. But when Wenger came in, look at what they were up against.
Yeah.
And he had some great seasons. Unforgettable seasons.
Bro,
legendary seasons.
Bro, even the last...
won multiple Prems.
Well, the Invincibles, there's that.
There you go.
Even the last... Fergie's last one, bro. Look at that. Look at that team. He won the Prem. And I know you're not saying that, but...
And that's just to... I'm saying, look at that, yeah? And then when Alex Ferguson rebranded the thing again, mad team, then Jose Mourinho came.
Yeah, and then just said, no, sorry.
Broke that up and ripped it away from and made it a Chelsea kind of era and a mad team and whatever. Then City came in and they had their couple Prems, but then Pep came in and boom, this is our era. I'm saying with that team that you lot had, it was a great team, great football, but you didn't do anything to City. And that's
why you can separate the two and say Klopp did a great job at Liverpool, but people are gonna try and have this conversation about him in relation to the Premier League greats.
Yeah, and I don't dispute that. Like you can say you can say that Klopp is not a Premier League great manager. That's fine, but I think it's slightly...
No, but sorry, Keith, you're the only one that is not doing that.
Yeah, I know. But I think
the discourse out there he's up there.
But I think it's very disingenuous to say, he's a Ranieri and Dalglish level manager just because he's won one.
No, I never said he's that level. I said the club has to go down as if there's brackets, you lot are going in the bracket of Leicester and Blackburn.
Well, Klopp as a manager is not going in the Dalglish bracket because
despite the record points haul and all that kind of stuff, you can say, well, you're still I think
Look,
that's just
so as a
disingenuous.
manager-
I think that's disingenuous.
So as a manager, I'm not putting him in Ranieri and Dalglish because there's other things around it. There is the Champions League, there's the FA Cups, there's stuff more than the league. But when we're talking about Premier League, the club has to, because you're all in the same bracket of winning one Premier League. There's no other way we can cut it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way, and I think it's a shame.
If that's the way he wants to be sliced, like that's the
No,
way.
but two things can be true. Klopp was a great manager for Liverpool in that period, right? He did the things the other guys couldn't do. Well, Rafa won Champions League but couldn't win the league. Rodgers didn't win anything. Didn't win the Champions League or the league. So he's able to do that and make you lot back into top 4 regular.
But I still think you can say, right, you guys fell short. But even though you fell short, on 2 times, you done a madness that puts you above clubs like Blackburn and Leicester.
How did he put you above them?
Why? I don't. How does it take?
How?
Because of what we done in that particular. Well, we were 1 game away from going invincible and getting 100 points. You can't just say,
yeah, but you didn't.
Oh, wait.
Fair
What?
enough, fair
What?
enough.
Ain't Nottingham Forest above Arsenal when it comes to European football?
Yeah.
Okay,
And Aston Villa.
No, but I'm saying,
what's the point?
and Aston Villa. Yeah. But I can say, but we've been in the Champions League
final.
We was in the Champions League final, and we've been in it the whole of Arsene Wenger's tenure, 20 years. Or whatever the
does it mean
thing
a
was,
thing?
top 4 in Champions League.
Doesn't mean a
and
thing.
And you lot were in the Championship and whatever, and you lot were nowhere to be seen. You lot ain't been back in Europe. We could say that,
but we ain't won it.
We have not won
anybody.
it. So you lot are just above us.
Yeah,
no, but I'm saying, we've won the league, and we like if we just won the league and then just disappeared into obscurity, I'd be like, you know what, cool. But it's not like we won the league and then
you won the league and you stayed and you
weren't challenging
and you
but
remember you are Liverpool, so
yeah, remember
you can stay up there.
We weren't doing that. We weren't staying up there,
which is why Klopp has been a great manager for you.
Yeah, but
when you look at the Prem, overall, and you take an objective view.
I know Liverpool fans ain't happy about it.
Like Man United,
I know.
Man
United
were 10 minutes away from winning another league. They weren't. They lost a goal difference. I've not had one Man United fan. I've not had one Man United fan say to me,
look at that.
But
they won like 12.
Exactly, so they don't need to talk about it. That's the point.
There you go. Yeah, that is the point.
Oh,
Because you lot have won one. If we like to bring up the other seasons where you missed out on 1 point, that's why
I was doing it before we won because there was a season under Rafa where we won. We lost 1 game. Like I've been doing it for years, bruv. I'm clinging on to anything.
No, I'm not gonna lie. You see, as a neutral fan, I think the most painful one is that Rodgers season when Gerrard slipped. As a neutral fan,
no way.
No,
but we lost it on the last day twice. Last day twice.
No, but like, you know what it was? You lot were good by there. You lot were good and all that kind of stuff. That Rodgers team.
Can I just say,
you lot bled and sweated that season.
I think if we had won that league, we wouldn't have gone on an upward trajectory.
I agree.
I think not winning that league helped us.
No, I agree.
In a weird way.
I agree. But look at that team that season. Like that team really dragged themselves to that position. And of all people, him. Nah.
Wasn't meant to be.
Nah, that was mad.
I know that.
So you know what, Klopp?
You know what, that game was the only game I missed or didn't see. I was on holiday and I couldn't find anywhere showing the game.
You would have ruined your holiday.
I know when you saw the highlights, you felt sick.
I was like, oh my days.
Would have ruined your holiday. You would have ruined your holiday.
It's a shame. But yeah, man, triple threat, man. Vince McMahon overseeing things. Let's see, man.
Well, those are not the kind of people we'll be mentioning in our podcast in the current climate. Thank you very much.
2000s Vince.
Keith and Isaac have been trying to get us cancelled for the longest.
Early, bro.
Last week it was. This week is. Bloody hell.
Listen, you lot need to read the news more. You need to read the news more. Look, I think it might be it's Arsenal's job to make it to kind of stay in the pack and make it.
if you didn't know, Nigeria just
scored.
1-0 to Nigeria.
It was
fantastic head at the back post.
Good header.
Almost dropped my laptop. Cool, blimey.
Was it?
You'll catch that on the YouTube.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's Arsenal's job to stay in it. make it a 3-horse race, and just add to the pressure. Add to the pressure.
Yeah, I've said
If City win that game in hand, yeah, and then it's Liverpool and Arsenal chasing City. When Man City are chasing, it doesn't feel like they're chasing. Everyone's just expecting them to get to where they're going to get to. But I think if they're top and then it's Liverpool and Arsenal chasing, I think that would be even more.
Yeah, 2 teams. Yeah,
Yeah,
worry
that'll
about
be
one
interesting.
team, but knowing that 2 teams are on your tail is going to be.
I think there's still going to be some twists and turns to this.
Oh, I think all 3 teams are going to drop points
Definitely,
at some point.
100%.
It's just who they drop them to and when they drop them.
Mate,
So,
I'm just looking at your fixtures now, mate.
I think
Got a mad little run here.
it's not a mad little run. Like,
Mate.
don't give me that.
No, not right now, but after I think it's the FA Cup, got a little run going on there. Forest
think-
away,
you know what I always
City
say.
at home, Everton away, Brighton at home.
Why, bruv?
Tyrell, you know what it is as well?
Just
You know what I
saying.
always say? It's always the people that are fighting for their lives at the end of the season. That's where the 3 teams need to just be careful. Because in the past seasons, even though it hasn't mattered, that's where sometimes City have come a little bit unstuck. Get
Yeah.
a draw here. So they might not lose, but they get a draw here, whatever. That's going to be, and I think this year it's going to be tight. Because that
Listen.
bottom, I think Sheffield United, I think they're gone. But the fight for the last 2 relegation places is going to keep, in the next 14 games, is going to keep going up and down, up and down. And those are the banana skins there.
Well, you say I'm sure Sheffield United are level points with Burnley now after their win yesterday.
Look at Liverpool's last 4 games, please.
Let me look for them.
By March, I'm telling you, I'm
Yo.
predicting. By March, I think there'll be it will be you lot would have slipped into 3rd.
So this is your last. Let me do your last 7 games. Yeah, Manchester United away, Crystal Palace at home, Fulham away, West Ham away, Spurs at home, Villa away, and then Wolves at home. That is not nice.
Spurs and Villa.
Yeah, but yours
that's
isn't-
fighting for top 4.
But yours isn't like
you know
easy.
about that fight for top 4, that hunger.
Like you got Tottenham away, Bournemouth at home,
What's that?
Man United away,
What's that?
Everton.
What's that?
Your last 5.
Who?
Last
Say that
5.
again?
Go on.
Wolves away,
Yeah.
Tottenham away,
Yeah.
Bournemouth at home,
Yep.
Man United away,
Yep.
Everton at home. That's not easy. Like, well, it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter what the fixtures look like
I
now.
feel like yours is a bit harder.
It's about getting the points in it. Like, let's
Man
just see,
United
man.
are out of it. Forget Man United.
We might win the Carabao and then kick on. Like, you never know.
Well, I think the Carabao is going to be his parting gift, mate.
If it is, that's it, man. Like, winning trophies is what he's there for.
I think that's his parting gift. All right, let's have a quick look ahead. In fact, actually, no. Just a quick one. We don't need to spend much time on this because I just think it's silly. But have you guys heard about the blue card they're bringing in
Nonsense.
Not
for the
interested.
sin bins?
I'm not interested.
My thing is like, how do you distinguish what becomes blue card, yellow card?
Because they're going to
Red
make it
card.
for specific offences. So I think, which is where, for me, is where it was a bit nuts. Because what I read was,
could I get sin binned 3 times in one game?
I don't know what the limits are.
So
That's a good point.
this is my thing in it.
yeah.
Like, if I do something, if I do descent 3 times,
I think it's a totting up process. So I think they're going to do like 2 blues equals a yellow, then 2 yellows equals a red. And the reason why they're trying to do that is they want to try and just separate some of these things. What I read, and I hope it's inaccurate, is that things like cynical fouls
yeah,
Could
will be a blue. And that's not what should be happening.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't
A
make
go.
cynical
sense.
foul. No, bro, you need to get a yellow or red for that.
yeah, standard.
Descent, I think, cool. It's 10 minutes. Go cool off, big man. And if you do that again, you're off or
But
it's a yellow.
Okay, so what if it's a goalkeeper?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do
Like
you do then?
he's trying to argue a penalty decision or something.
Yeah, that's you lot's fault then.
So
You-
what happens? Do I get to sub on a goalkeeper?
No.
Nope.
No, sin bin.
This
Play
is
with
gonna
10
be
men
a
for 10
sin.
minutes. And yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm
makes no
telling
sense.
Ramsdale, shut up. Shut your mouth. We can't afford for you to
No,
get
but
sin
this
bin.
is what I'm saying. It's never gonna, if blue cards come in, it's not gonna stop the dissent and those sort of things. I don't think it's gonna stop. Just like how we saw the automatic red card for just knocking the ball away or something. It hasn't
Or
stopped.
the yellow card, yeah.
Because it's like a second nature, like to
Yeah.
just.
Yeah.
But this is.
But I think over time that will
But this seems like a rule for referee protection rather than
I
the
agree.
benefit
Of the game.
Of the game.
So you don't
Like
see,
most rules that come in benefit the game. Like I don't see this benefiting the game in any capacity.
so you don't see
whatsoever.
any benefit to this. I think it works well in grassroots. I think in grassroots, where you've got a team,
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
sin-bin many times.
yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah, but not in
To
the
deal
professional
with.
game.
Yeah, but in the professional game, I personally don't get it. I don't get it. And to your point, there's a few details for me that would have to be ironed out. I don't think the blue card should be applicable to goalkeepers because if it is, tactically, that's a nightmare. How does a totting up work? Does a blue card, can I get a blue card, then 2 yellow cards before it becomes a red? To your point, can I get 3 blue cards?
In one game.
And then,
yeah.
like, I don't know, I'm not ready to enough. I don't think, and I think this is another one where they're looking at things like rugby, because in rugby they have sin bins, don't they?
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, if you think dissent is much of a problem,
Yeah.
you say to the referees, any dissent,
Straight yellow.
it's a yellow card.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
don't
it.
introduce something. Like, put the onus on the referees to be stronger in their decision making. If you say, F off ref, or blah, blah, block the ball from being kicked, something like that, straight yellow. Everyone knows it from the off. That captains and managers meeting they have at the start of each season, tell them what it is.
That's the only thing I don't like about football is sometimes, to your point, they don't deal with the issue. They just culturally let things manifest.
Yeah.
If you again, they look at other sports like rugby and all that, bruv, the way they talk to referees is different, right? So if you really want to stamp it out, bruv, let there be a couple of seasons where anything you say to the ref, it's a yellow. I'm telling you, give it a couple of years, yeah, man, then
Or it's
will relax.
just only the captain can go up to
Yeah.
And if you come up to me, I don't care what you're saying.
Saying yellow, bang.
Yeah.
But they don't take that approach. I just feel like they don't follow through things properly.
Yeah. 100%.
Everything's just like trying to appease the fans. Or look, we're doing something. No, do it properly.
It's like they want to be seen to be looking busy
Yeah,
when it's not necessary, innit?
yeah. No, agreed.
IFAB need to
Agreed.
sort themselves out.
All right, well, listen. That's the end of this episode. As always, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, and share. All your feedback and interaction is much, much appreciated. I'm off to watch Nigeria deal with Ivory Coast. It's now 1-0 at halftime. And I'll be back next week gloating about our AFCON victory. Cheers.
Peace.